family? EXO-MEDIA back out here again with another podcast episode. Y'all know I know it's been dry season these past few weeks. It's even been like a month or something like that, but we've been going through some technical difficulties, and the reason I say we because this business, this company is a family, and that's why we're trying to aim and strive for this whole thing, right? So yeah, the media company has been going through a lot of technicalities and stuff like that, and like since this is a startup that I have started for myself, something that I can do that I'm really passionate about, especially the informative entertainment part of this. I am quite passionate about this. So what I'm trying to do is that, take my passions and try and change the world with it, see what I can do with it, while people are thinking about other stuff, and while you doing whatever hobbies that people love doing, what I am trying, what keeps me up at night, what keeps me up, what gives me the drive every morning, is knowing that, I'm trying to change the world as much as I can, and hopefully we make it to the mainstream, make it to the mainstream. I know I need to push this work harder, and this is what the podcast is for, it's about, starting a revolution, breaking boundaries, starting not too much being hooked up on the trains, but like making trains move, because that's what we're about, making a lot of investments. Next this year, my one of my goals is just to end this year great. If I can give you guys content, and I can make sure that I can supply you guys with a full year supply of content, then I know that I would have done my job for the world, and hopefully my content really sparks with y'all, clicks with y'all, and makes sure hopefully it changes you guys. After watching my content, you would be like yeah, nah, I felt it. Anyways, so let's get into it, right? What I wanted to discuss today is basically the alternative media, mainstream media, basically. The mainstream media industry, mainstream media, mainstream media is not, becoming mainstream is not a goal that I want to achieve, but I would like to have as much impact as the mainstream media. The reason why I wouldn't say that mainstream media is a goal, because mainstream media is more focused on it's more controlled and stuff like that. It's filtered, and stuff like that. Although in terms of the media and stuff, there are certain stuff that we need to take care of and consider, in society and stuff like that. But it's too fabricated for me. It has become like kind of fake. And whereas alternative media is more, it's more focused. It has a sense of direction of where it's headed. It doesn't have any hidden agenda. It's not funded by some big ass public or I don't know enterprises. That wants to push the agenda to the society or the world. It doesn't have an agenda. It's just there. Alternative media is just there. To inspire. To change the world. You get me? So that's what it's about, and when I think about mainstream media, I be thinking about the news networks that we have, that's controlled by the government. For example, in South Africa, we got the South African Broadcasting Channel, SABC. Man, no hate, we grew up watching that stuff, but we all know what happens behind the doors, and which powers are at play in terms of that. We've seen in history that some governments used to manipulate media to promote their own propaganda, and that's what it has become for me. So what I want to do is just to get people discussing about shit like that. Are y'all actually enjoying the news that y'all watching today? Because I don't know, the news is kind of silly for me today. Especially even watching the American ones, your CNNs, your CNBC and stuff like that. Well, we all know that there's kind of a hidden propaganda in between all of that stuff, and in my generation, I'm turning 21 this year, so I wanted to ask the rest of y'all, who in my age group, who in my generation today, I'm I won't consider myself, I'm a 2000, but yeah, what ifs. But who in my generation, who my era, who anyone else in their 20s right now, now, let's say late 20s, but in their 20s, early 20s, early 20s, right? So I'm talking about 25 and below. Who of y'all still watch the news? There probably isn't much of y'all still watching that shit. You get me? So let's get into the logical stuff. Factual information, informative entertainment, get into all the nitty and gritty. So, mainstream media, MSM, is a term, an abbreviation used to refer collectively to the various large mass news media that influence many people and both reflect and shape prevailing current of thoughts, right? The term is used to construct with alternative media, which may contain content with more dissenting thought at variance with the prevailing views of mainstream sources. So it's alternative because their views are quite, the opposite of what the mainstream would give out, right? So in the United States, movie production is known to have been determined by major studios since the early 20th century. Before that, there was a period in which Edison's Trust monopolized the industry. In the early 21st century, the music and television industries was subject to media consolidation, with Sony Music Entertainment's parent company merging with their music division, Bertelsmann AG, BMG, to form Sony BMG and Warner Bros. Now, these companies are large. They are big ass companies, man. And the reason why I've been saying that, there may be some propaganda, Now, not to say that there aren't a lot of alternative medias that have like big companies backing them up, but like we talking about monopolies out here. Monopolies are controlling our news. Monopolies are controlling, our media, and that's not cool, because like with monopolies, I don't know, when people have power, it like too much power, it turns to like, corrupt them. They say with great power comes great responsibilities, and I respect that part of it because, in a sense, it's quite true. Thinking about it, I remember, especially those COVID, I'm not overreacting. I'm not overreacting about the situation. So like, I know now, some of these workers and stuff. Now listen, no disrespect to people that work in like restaurants and shops and all that. Yeah, nah, it's cool. I respect y'all. Y'all are y'all are part of my family. I love you. I love each and every one of y'all. But like, this pandemic got y'all thinking y'all have some other sense of power. You get me? So I remember one day I think I was trying to order some pizza, and like I was wearing my mask, obviously, because you can't go anywhere without it and shit like that in these times. So I was wearing it, but like with me, like I I know it's been like a year, but like I'm not comfortable with that mask shit. Like I'm still not. You get me? Like when I'm outside working, I'm not wearing. When I'm chilling, I'm alone. I'm not wearing that shit. I'm really not wearing it. The only time I wear it is if I'm in a store on like some public area where like it's required that you should have that shit. Then yeah, I'll be wearing. So like I had that shit over my mouth and not over my nose because like I said, I feel like I can't breathe when I'm wearing that shit. Like no matter what type of mask I have, that's just how I feel. And so I'm wearing over my mouth, and then I try to order my pizza, and this lady not trying to give me my pizza until not trying to actually take my order until I put that shit over my nose. She like, put that shit over your nose. I'm like, damn, B, why you tripping though? I'm like, I'm wearing the mask. Like, what the fuck? Like, it's not like I'm gonna be coughing in your face and all that. And even though I do cough, go be coughing through my fucking mouth. And if I sneeze, man, shit, I'll sneeze far away from your ass. Like, bro, like, I don't care if you give me corona. Okay, listen, I got a family. Like, not to say that I don't care and shit like that, but like, I'm not scared of the Corey or all that stuff. Like, we all get the flu and all that. I care about my family. Obviously, I got family back home and stuff like that. So I will always try to make sure that I'm safe. But like hygiene and all that stuff, washing your hands, that shit that we been knowing and shit like that. You get me? So yeah, I should really try to calm my language more. So yeah, she does that, and then I'm like, damn, this bee is tripping, right? So I'm like, it felt like I was back in school and like the teacher would tell me, hey, like tie your tie properly, or hey, wear this, or hey, like fix that and fix this, and like I'm like, damn, you really feeling powerful. And I've seen some crazy people of people just tripping over customers just for a fucking mask. So like, talking about power, it comes with great fucking responsibility, right? So the mainstream media doesn't only include the news network, it can also be the entertainment side of stuff, your Hollywood, you get me? What else do we got? Entertainment shit, your it's basically just Hollywood, though. I can say, because like if I'm talking about the major companies like your Fox Corporation, Walt Disney, ABC, ESPN, FX, and Disney brands, Comcast, AT&T. Now, these are American companies, right? In South Africa, SABC runs this shit. We all know that shit. But what I've noticed is that with the media in South Africa, why I see much of an opportunity and why I decided to take upon this challenge to start my own alternative media is that there are a lot of there are a lot of monopolies in this country and they make a shitload of money. And that's just not good. That's not good enough for me. This should be a land of opportunities where people can come and pursue whatever business venture they want to, where wealth can be equally spread. Unlike your Escoms and most of these telecom giants that we have, your NTN, Vodacoms of our world and shit like that. They are heavily monopolized in this country and stuff like that. And obviously, the monopolies in the United States are kind of doing the same shit, right? So mass media refers to a diverse area of media technology that reach a large audience via mass communication. The technologies through which this communication takes place include a variety of outlets. In the late 20th century, mass media could be classified into 8 mass media industries. Your books are part of mass media. I don't know of any mainstream book publishers like that. Oh yeah, by the way, I actually have a poetry book that y'all need to go check out and stuff like that. And for anyone that's got books and stuff that needs me to like promote them, just hit me up in the comment below, or like just hit me up via email. And we here for y'all, man. I'm here for the people, here for the community, right? The internet, your Google, biggest monopoly, magazines, Cosmopolitan, all these big ass magazines, your movies, Hollywood, I already mentioned, the newspapers, these giant newspapers, radio, recordings, and television. So the term mass media is sometimes erroneously used as a synonym for mainstream media, as I mentioned, right? So the mass media influences knowledge gaps due to factors including the extent to which the content is appealing, the degree to which information channels are accessible and desirable, and the amount of social conflict and diversity there is in a community, right? The reason why mainstream media has so much power in itself, and it's because they've already established a mainstream channel. I haven't established one, so I'll consider myself alternative, but even when I do, you know, have one, or even though I do get to the point where I do have a mainstream channel, I still want to be playing on the side of the alternative side, doing shit different than the mainstream does, like not only using my power to push an agenda, but using the power to uplift the community, the media community and all that. You get me? Like changing the world for the better, because the news isn't, I don't want to say news is supposed to be exciting, but like news is supposed to be uplifting community rather than, some draining shit that you have to watch where, none of the shit makes sense. It's just like, I don't know. I don't even know what word to use for it, but like, I feel clearer after watching a documentary on a certain, like, let's say I'm watching a documentary on hijack. I feel like I know a documentary is meant to provide information, but like a documentary does as much as news does. What news cares about? Clout, headlines. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Clout, trends, like what's popping, like what's interesting. What can you get people hooked onto the screen? Like no matter how toxic it is or how good it is, they try to get up with a agenda that, listen, we go try people's brains hooked to this shit, and that's why no one our age can ever watch the news, and then we caught up watching, okay, I'm gonna say it, we caught up watching dumb shit, unintelligent shit, shit that doesn't uplift you intelligently, you get me? We need information that would do that for ourselves, right? So, alternative media are media sources that differ from established or dominant types of media, such as mainstream media or mass media. In terms of their content production or distribution, sometimes the term independent media is used as a synonym, referencing independence from large media corporations, like I said. But this term is also used to indicate media enjoying freedom of the press and independence from government control. In contrast to mainstream media, alternative media tend to be non-commercial products that advocates the interest of those excluded for the mainstream. You get me? Hope that shit makes sense. Hope it really makes sense. The third is that it should create a perspective different from that of the state and major corporations. I would like to have the same impact as a mainstream in a mainstream channel. Just with a different vision. Different ideology, different perspective. Like come with a different. I'm gonna look at the Mac G podcast. I am so inspired by that guy's work. And like in the future, like in terms of future partnerships, in terms of podcasts, I'm like, we still gonna grow. Like I'm glad I started with this journey, and I don't care how long it takes. 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. I'm a person that persists. I persevere. Yes, technical problems would be faced, but I'm still back here, ain't I? I'm like, even if I release my next video in like a month, like I'm joking, I can't be doing that shit again. But even if I do, I will come back. I'm not a person that just gives up on my dreams. I don't throw the towel. I've never thrown the towel to anything in my life. That's just the person I like. This is just who I am. You get me? So one way of understanding alternative media is to consider their role in the process of democratic communication. Philosopher Jürgen Habermas proposed that a healthy democratic community requires a space where rational debate can take place between engaged citizens. Engaging citizens. You get me? So my vision in terms of the alternative, what I see in terms of alternative, especially ones that, I mean, like, you got your Joe Rogan. I can name a few. The Mac G's, obviously. I consider him part of the alternative media industry. Joe Rogan podcast, and the many more that do exist. Right? They are more engaged into the community, and what I like about the engagement they have is that they discuss stuff. You get me? Like, cancel culture belongs in mainstream media. I don't believe it is part of the alternative. Like, although you can do some research and you'll find that, okay, yeah, cancel culture is kind of people from, away from the mainstream side of stuff. But but cancel culture has been used as a way to control shit now, and it's kind of following the same agenda as a mainstream. It's not free, it's not independent, it's not allowing people to discuss and engage in different topics, no matter what topics it is. No matter how sensitive the community is, there's still some stuff we need to discuss. There's still some topics that we should be talking about, getting people thinking about it, because we're thinking of so much bullshit throughout this world, and like, it makes sense why we end up doing dumb. It makes sense why, like, our world is at the state. It makes sense why society is at the state that it's in, because of the actions that we are taking with this intelligence that this God-given abilities that God gave us and stuff like we're dumbing ourselves down, and that's not what I want. And if society is gonna be, I can be that one egg. I can be that one egg that looks white out of a bunch of different colored eggs and shit like that. You get me? Not to say, not to reference anything, and stuff like that, but that's what I'd rather be, right? So example types of alternative media social movements, of course, informal groups or organizations, shit like that, right? And then we get to the entertainment part of stuff, mainstream entertainment. So what is entertainment? Entertainment is a form of activity that holds the attention and interest of an audience or gives pleasure and delight. It can be an idea or a task, but is more likely to be one of the activities or events that have developed over thousands of years, specifically for the purpose of keeping an audience's attention. Now, keeping an audience's attention. Now, I just mentioned that the news have their own agenda, right? Although I, as an alternative media platform, I want your attention. I don't want to use your attention. I just want you to pay attention. You get that? I'm not using your attention. I don't want your attention. I want you to pay attention. I want you to develop your mind. Now, I'm gonna start having guests and stuff like that. Obviously, just to like bring a more friendly environment into the podcast and stuff like that. Get a more a social nature going. But like when I'm alone and I'm hosting solo, there's definitely shit that we gotta have to go deep inside of, because that's just who I am. We gotta have to get intimate within this podcast. This is just who I am. This is the alternative media industry. We need to be discussing intimate stuff. Yes, I will have guests. We will still be getting deep into stuff, deep into topics and talking stuff, but it'll be more light, just enjoying conversation and all that, but like I'm sharing my thought process right now. I'm discussing a thought process with y'all. You get me? So entertainment can be distinguished from other activities such as education and marketing, even though they have learned how to use the appeal of entertainment to achieve their different goals. Sometimes entertainment can be a mixture of both. Like I mentioned, the vision of my podcast is to become an informative entertainment. I want you leaving this podcast having learned something. Yes, I'm gonna entertain y'all here and then. I might do some entertainment stuff like that. Even you watching me, you might be entertained. For those that love, researching, being informative type of people, you might enjoy what I'm doing. The fact that I'm discussing topics like this, the fact that you want to know more about topics like this, it might be entertainment for you, more of an informative stuff. But my end goal is that after you watch this, not only are you entertained, but you've left with a sense of knowledge or a sense of thought, where you can go out and talk. The point is that we don't talk no more. That is our problem. We don't talk no more. We watch news, we headlines, we react. That's all. We don't talk. We hear news, we react. We hear news, like. Now, I believe this world works with energies and stuff like that. You get me? So like, what you give is what you receive in a way. So like, if you're looking for negative energy, you will get negative energy, and by us not talking enough, that's negative for the community, because what happens when you keep shit bottled up for too long? Yes, they may be certain parts of ourselves that we don't want to express and stuff like that, but we need to be able to build an environment where people can speak freely, speak whatever bull you want to speak. Like, to my future guests, y'all can say whatever the hell you want on my podcast. Like, I couldn't give less of. Like, obviously we need to have a sense of respect and boundaries and all that. Like, that is important, because that's the only way that you can build a connection with other people. But y'all can do whatever you want. Like, if you want to fuck shit up, do it. Pop shit, do it. It's you, man. It's you. As long as we can get to a part where we're talking, and we're discussing, and we're meeting a middle ground, right? So, educational entertainment, also referred to as edutainment, is media designed to educate through entertainment, and the term used in 1954 by Walt Disney. Like, when we talk about media, giants, Disney, like, have y'all seen what moves that Disney are pulling right now? Like, if y'all would research on the history of Walt Disney, like the person himself and the business, y'all will go crazy. Like, the journey that they've been through is a crazy one. Like for them, it wasn't just about entertainment. There's a lot that we can talk about. The fact that the CIA has used one of their programs for their kids. The fact that for them it wasn't just about entertaining kids. They were kind of passing their own agendas. Or they would say that it was educative entertainment. Films and animations and symbolic representations. There's a lot of stuff that you can hide in entertainment, and that's what we have seen in this entertainment industry, right? I don't know if y'all noticed, but y'all need to pay close attention to the shit that you watch. Like I've mentioned now, Walt Disney did not just start as an entertainment thing. I mean, like, of course, the person that owned the company was had a vision of entertainment, but it was the company became a tool, and that's how it became a global giant as it was. They have a lot of deep ties with this government, and it's just crazy. It's just crazy. This is just something that I can talk about probably at another show, because it's a more focused. It needs to be a more focused topic, in order for y'all to understand like the stuff that I'm trying to explain to y'all, right? So most often it indicates content intended to teach but has incidental entertainment value. The entry of the US into World War II also had a major impact on the popularity of education, entertainment, propaganda. As I said, as a relationship between Disney and the US government formed, Disney was able to experiment with educational and non-fiction films in a way that may be explicitly designed with education in mind, while others may have incidental or secondary educational value. All types of games, including board, card, and video games, may be used in an educational environment, no matter what the agenda is. Yeah. The term edutainment was first made popular amongst the hip hop community by Keras One, legend. Respect that man, man. Respect that man. Thank the teacher. That's what he called him, the teacher. Thanks to his Boogie Down Predictions album by the same name, likewise, podcasts have begun to exemplify the concept of edutainment, with some radio programs also becoming available in digital formats. Not only are they series with an educational tool, infotainment, uh, a portmanteau of information and entertainment, also called soft news, a type of media, usually television, that provides a combination of information and entertainment. The idea of hard news embodies two ortho damn can't I don't even know how to say this word. The idea of hard news mainstream. The hard news embodies two concepts: politics, economics, crime, war, and disasters are considered serious topics. Also certain aspects of law, business, science, and technology, right? So I'm not only dealing with soft news, if y'all haven't noticed, right? Soft news, yes, we will talk about, but I feel like for me, there's a hardness to like the softness. I already lost y'all, but like I will be dealing with both soft news and hard news. But for me, even news that is as soft as like you give me like, but politics. It's crazy how it's considered soft news, but yeah, your soft news, politics, economics, yeah, yeah, yeah. We will get into that. I mean, like I will also get into like some celebrity stuff that will be going on. I consider that soft news as well. You get me? And but I feel like I can dive deeper into whatever soft news you're in, and find hard rock solid foundation, and that's what I was trying to say to you guys. You get me? So, um, the media entertainment industry. It's a big one. It's a big one, but I just need y'all to realize that y'all shouldn't just watch shit just to watch shit. I mean, like, know what you're wanting, know what type of value that you are getting into yourself, that you're getting yourself into. I mean, like, yeah, it's fun. Not that I don't kick back, relax, and watch a movie, but like, for me, if a movie has lost its plot, I might not even finish it. I mean, like, I remember this past weekend I watched what? The new Men in Black? I mean, like, I haven't watched it. It's been out for a while, but like, I just needed to see it. So I watched this thing, and so like the new Men in Black, right? So I watched it. Yeah. I still fuck with the old one though. I mean, like Will Smith and all that. Like I still fuck with it. No cap. I mean, like for me, that's the best Men in Black. Like that whole trilogy, they killed it. They killed it. I don't know what. I don't know why they didn't bring it back. I don't know what's the story. I mean, like if y'all know what happened, hit me back up. So I watched it, right, and y'all y'all know how I feel about this whole LGBTQ movement, feminist movement. Have I talked about feminism? I probably haven't. No, no, no. I think okay. So they connect the feminists and the LGBTQ community are kind of connected, and I did speak about that in one of my podcast episodes. You need to go check that out. So yeah, I watch it, right? Symbols, guys. Like I've already said, entertainment is not just entertainment. You get me? And especially with this monopolized industries, Hollywood, your news are not just news. We've seen in history that entertainment has been used for wars, for propaganda. No matter what type of media it is, advertisements, whatever it is, radio or whatever. We all know that there has been an agenda used for it. And yes, listen, I'm not trying to shit on media. There are the good sides of media, the fact that we can, change the world, the fact that we can reach people for the good, and spread the good message, to uplift the community. There is a good part of it, but that is part of life, the good and the bad. But like, we could do more good than the bad that exists. I mean, like, we don't all need to. I mean, like, if there's a match that's burning, right, or if there's something that's rotten, or a pack of whatever that's rotten, that if you can remove the rotten part of it, everything stays fine. But if you keep on adding more rotten shit to the good part of it, then everything will go spoil. It will spoil everything, and that's the purpose of it, right? So let me not get sidetracked off the rails, but I watched this, right? I was just chilling, and I was like, oh shit, new Men in Black. Let me check it out. So I watch it. I'm like, oh shit, it's Chris Hemsworth, the Thor nigga, and then it's that chick. I don't really know why I don't know her name, but like, man, she like woman crush every day, like that lady. Woo, woo, woo. Alright, damn, let's not get sidetracked. But yeah, that chick was there, right? She. That's that chick on Creed, and I've also seen her on the Thor movie and shit like that, right? That's that chick from Creed. You get me? I think she's mixed race. I'm not gonna try to identify, but y'all get her. Y'all will just drop whatever her name is. So also, I'm like, oh, cool. There's a chick now in Men in Black. I'm like, I didn't have a problem with it, but like already me seeing that, I was like, oh, again, again, again. So like, no. Let's just watch it, dude. Let's just watch it and find out what's up. Now, when I watch movies, I focus, pay close attention to details. I respect directors. That director, I forgot his name is. Or guys, his names, but yeah, I forgot his name as well. I respect directors like the guy from Us and what's that other movie that he made with that song and Get Out. You see him, I respect him, because he understands the game, he understands the industry, and he does it so fucking well. Right? So I watch it, and it gets to a scene where the guy says, "We are the Men in Black," right? And it's like, no, it's the woman in black. I was like, really, nigga? I like that shit wasn't even funny. I mean, like, what type of line is that? I mean, like, they emphasize that line so much that I lost it. I was like, whoa. I literally cut that movie short. I'm like, I'm not finishing this movie. I don't care how it ends. I don't care what the fuck. I don't even know what the fuck happened in that movie. I'm like, y'all would just tell me on that, but I don't know what the fuck happened in that movie. I literally cut it. And what's funny is I wasn't the only one watching. And people were like, I was sitting like my cousins and stuff. And they were like, nigga, the hell? Why'd you change that shit, bro? We was still out like, oh, man, like, I could have, like, just left y'all to finish this shit. But, like, I picked the movie, so it's shit. I'm not going to watch it. Like, I really don't like, I really didn't like that part, because they put their own agenda. And listen, do I have something against the feminist agenda? Yes, I do. Do I have something against women equality? No, I don't. I respect females. I respect women, right? But there's a certain way of doing this shit, right? And in the future, I need to have a podcast specifically for the feminist movement, But if y'all want to hear more of my views on that, y'all would have to go check out what happens, But I just don't like that, we are being forced, to, I mean, like, we know that, like, yes, okay, shit is not equal, and yes, we live in a patriarchal society. What you expect? We've been living in a patriarchal society, and the debate can go on and on and on, but like, what the feminist movement is trying to do, trying to change nature, change the course of the way things are supposed to do, y'all don't realize the consequences that comes with. Yes, consequences of patriarchal society is that most women are gonna get tramped on and shit like that, but we can improve the system, do better shit, you know. There's a reason why there's never, I mean, like, matriarchal societies have existed in this world, but there's kind of a reason why the patriarchs have been the dominant. Listen, I love my woman, like black, white, Asian, colored, like mixed. Listen, I love my woman. I respect them as well, but I still believe in being the alpha male, and I still believe in the female being the divine feminine. The divine masculine, divine feminine. There are feminine capabilities that I cannot possess, but the female has and can achieve. There are masculine abilities that the female can't possess, and the female can't possess, and I can do whatever I want with my masculine divine energy, and the point is not to clash against each other, but to come as one, because yin and yang, good and bad, balance it out, plus and minus. That's just how it's supposed to be. We're supposed to be working together, not trying to, make one, not trying to take more from one, or not trying to manipulate one. And it's not supposed to be a win and lose situation. It's supposed to be a win-win, because we need each other. I mean, like, what is the purpose of life without divine masculine and the divine feminine? There would not be life without that, right? So that's all I got for you guys. Hope y'all enjoyed this podcast. Yeah, let's get it.